Wow.
Wow.
Here we are. Hey, everybody. Here we are. It's not quite Friday. It's not quite Sunday. It's somewhere else in the week. You figure
Surely not Friday.
it's not Friday. It's not Sunday. Pretty much, they tell us it's actually, I believe, the last day of Janice's month, right? January. So
Allegedly.
allegedly, so they say. If you're keeping up on whatever calendar they stuck us with, that's where we're at. And so we were having a lot of discussions. Oh, I do want to mention, I did see my note from last show, and I wrote down Job 48, which there isn't one, but I would assume it was 38. And we could discuss a little bit about that, but mostly that's where the area that we've talked about a lot, that when Job has all his troubles, his friends come over and they all commiserate as what's happening. And that's basically the moment when God steps in and says, who the hell are you guys? You guys know nothing. Let me just, Lucy, I got some explaining to do, kind of thing. And he just lails it all out for him, right? So I do highly encourage, again, everyone, if you haven't read the Bible, Job's a cool chapter. It is difficult because you go, why does God allow all these things to happen to Job? But there is a
baby.
Yeah, there's a happy ending, and and all that, but not to spoil it. But it's an interesting study, and it helps. At least it helped me understand a little bit about the world that we find ourselves in, which I believe is, most likely Satan's world, and how to navigate through it. And Job is a good testament to that. And if you don't want to take the time to read it, you can watch the movie. It's called Trading Places, right? No, Steve, nothing.
Nothing. Sorry.
I don't even have a rim shot guy. Okay. All right. Well, any case, okay, I threw the whole train off track. So any case, so instead, there's a passage both of us really, really enjoy, and it's what I believe in. I believe Steve does too. I won't speak for him, but it's kind of shows us about where we find ourselves, and gives us a clue as to not only how to navigate through it, but the ending that we're looking for. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's also technified as a prophecy, I guess, in a way. It's like a almost as a vision. So I think the more prophetic ones are sometimes a little more difficult to break down and understand, but this one more or less speaks for itself. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. In fact, he does too.
That's very true.
See, I have him on both shows. So, okay.
I have those in my chat now.
What's that?
In my chat, people say that.
They say that. That's hilarious. Well, you know what? Someone said the sweetest thing. They said, Jesus, well, you and I joke about this. Like when he really wants you to listen, it's like, hey, Steve, verily. It's like saying, no, this is some serious stuff right here. You got to listen. And in a way, that's very true. That's what they said. I thought it was really cool.
Nonchalant, verily, I like it.
Like it. Right? Because
we're on a mission from God.
Oh gosh,
that was because of Brian. He made me make that one. Yeah, he forced me. So because I hate doing those. Okay, we have 41 beautiful. What's that?
I said I bet you hate doing those.
Yeah. It's terrible. In fact, I was telling Steve today, I just finished a music video. There's no way I'll ever make it on YouTube because it'll be struck and killed and all that. So I'll figure it out. I'll definitely can get on Rockfin, and maybe I'll try it on Odyssey, and then maybe Facebook. So we'll try it there. Check your local listings. But we have 48 beautiful souls here. Thank you. And I know we have more on Rockfin. We've got 5 over there, and we already have a tip, and I'm marking them down because I'm making sure that they go evenly between the two of us. There is both of our PayPals pinned in the description. There is not a piece of paper here. And so, you guys, you can check those out if you're interested in donating to us. All donations are greatly appreciated. And here we go.
How do you not have the paper? You're at a desk.
Oh, knock it off, you.
I got like 7 notebooks over here.
I have a bunch. I just couldn't find them. The dog moved.
Bingo! Yahtzee! Is that your final answer?
No, it's not. I'm lying. Okay, I couldn't find it because
The freaking dog ate your homework.
unorganized. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I tried
Okay.
this before.
Okay.
Never had
So
a dog until after I graduated from school.
and thank you very much, Patrick Locke over on Rockfin. That's very sweet.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So let's see. We should get it spinning here. So we're probably going to hit it. Definitely. We're looking at hitting Isaiah 13 and 14. If you'd like to follow along, if you have one of those available to you, and then I think that's What else? Anything else, Steve? Or if you want to?
I think that's a good prelude to what we're gonna hit. So I'll bring it up on my end.
All right.
And you can
I'll do the audio here and bring this down because we chose this guy because both Steve and I. By the way, you can get KJV, but that's my favorite. You can get any of the different books, free apps online. But this particular one that I think he has, or I have for sure, it has this one dude, Alexander's Scar or something like that. And now all I do is I hear the Bible in his voice when I read it. and so because this guy does this so well, that's why we did that. So I'll put the sound on here.
it's just
we'll
epic, you know.
Yeah. And let's see. We
Just
get his
hypes it up.
words. Okay. And then I'll do this so we can just listen. And here we go, Isaiah 13 for those of you who want to read along. And here we go. I think. Anything?
I'm good. You good?
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
You
Hold
haven't
on.
played anything.
I know it's not playing. Hang on.
What are you doing?
Amateur hour.
Ooh.
Dude, this is working fine just before the show. Isn't that weird? We tested it out seconds before we went on. Let's see.
Nothing better than some ice water, though. I'll tell you that.
Right?
Isaiah
There we
12.
go. That's what I'm doing too, ice water.
Isaiah 13.
Okay, I got it. Let's see. I'll back it up here. Tell me how this sounds.
Isaiah 13.
Is that good?
The burden of Babylon, which
Man,
Isaiah the son of Amos did
A
see.
little louder. Okay, hang on.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Perfect. You want to start it
Exalt
back?
the voice
Yeah,
unto
I'll
them.
back it up.
Shake.
Here we go.
Isaiah 13. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
All right. Should we
You
get
wanna-
there?
I was going to say, yeah, that's not a bad place to hit off.
Yeah. Okay. You want to go first? Go for it.
So
you got?
just very interesting stuff going on here. Like I said before, this is some prophetic stuff here from Isaiah. He right here in verse 3, very interesting, I think. Here I have also called mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. So it seems like everyone from left and right, up and down is going to be involved. It seems like they're going to be hearing the noise of the multitudes in the mountains, you know. So it's going to be something epic that's following up here. I would say the burden of Babylon. That just sounds incredible. What do you got to add? What are you going?
Oh yeah, and it expands, of course, within the chapter. But he's basically saying everyone's coming to see this, and that's one of the things. One of the hardest things for me was like, how do these evil people and people that do evil things continue to survive when you good people are getting taken out? You know, and it's like the evil ones have to stay to the end days. Now I don't know why they don't get taken out sooner and come back. I don't know how the system works. But the eternal ones and the ones that fell, they're going to be here right to the end times. They don't go anywhere and then everybody else has to see what happens. For every moment that you've ever said, why doesn't that person ever get any justice? That's for us to view. That's for that moment to see. They are getting justice. And that's why God says, don't do it. Don't worry about it. You've got to let that go. That comes from the enemy. I will handle this. You just have to trust me. And that's the thing. So that's the hardest part. And that's what I feel this passage is starting to describe. Everyone's going to be there.
Yep, starting to get into the meat of it for sure. Absolutely.
I think we're on 5, right?
On 5, and we can carry on.
Okay. And I got to hang on. I got to mute for 1 second here.
Okay. It's okay. There was a
Somebody,
little.
there was a phone call. There was a phone call. So for my wife. So Mrs. Ceiling Fan needs to call her mother. Okay. Next. Here we go. Chapter 5.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
Tried to. Here we go.
That's okay. That's okay. So basically, just saying here how it's going to be incredible. It's going to be just unbearable almost, as it's comparing it to a woman giving birth, like the birth pains. Perhaps seems like something we've been talking about. A phrase has been going along in this community past couple years, honestly, with this whole new situation we find ourselves in. But just very interesting here how in verse 5, and the weapon of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So it seems that's interesting to me. And then it goes on to say, therefore shall all hands be faint and every man's heart shall melt. Very just very interesting there, you know. Kind of like rings on the whole the reset stuff, you know. Very interesting.
Right.
Shows the power of him too, you know, the almightiness.
Yeah. And the fact that it says that they get destroyed by the weapons of their own indignation. So it's like, you know, as the stories are, you know, that we've read, the fallen angel, I forget which, you remember the name, you probably do, taught weapons and metalwork and stuff to us.
A few of them did.
Yeah. And so part of that is just, it's bringing it upon ourselves. And the way that guy says, "Hal ye," no one says it better. And yeah, so it's just basically, and they talk, like you said, the pangs, the birth pangs, and that's what a lot of people are talking about, you know, either tribulations or regardless whether tribulations or not. Right now, what we're going through, it's a really, really difficult time, right? But what are we looking for? We're looking for a way out to the other side of this, and we know that this has to happen. I mean, all sides, even people that believe in the Bible, people that don't believe in the Bible, the enemy that's trying to bring on their new world stuff and all that, everyone's trying to like make a change. So we know that something's going to happen and we're going to come out on the other side. And the idea is we just want to make it, you know, in the right room and not end up in the wrong one and be sold at like a World's Fair. I'm going to give myself one of these.
That's very true.
That was worth it.
Oh man, good stuff, man.
Okay, so let me see if I can back this up. I'm not as skilled at this as you are, but let's see. We'll back it up just a bit here.
Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Did I back it up?
The stars of heaven,
You're good,
and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, you're good. It's just
Sorry, he's gonna do it again real quick. There you go. Got it. I'm trying to do it off my phone. You know, this isn't like it's not high tech here, guys. Okay.
That's very true.
Okay, next.
Oh man, no, but yes, this little part of this passage here, very comparable to the great day of in Revelations of the opening of the sixth seal. Just the moon, the sun, the stars. It doesn't say they're coming down, but they're not shining no more. But just very interesting stuff. And it goes on to say, why is all this happening? Well, it's because the evil and the wickedness needs to get taken out of the world, you know. And it's because they were too arrogant and too proud, you know. We see examples of this all the time. Look at the whole MAGA movement, you know. Look at anyone who denies Mandela, flat Earth, anything like that. You know, they're too proud to admit they've been deceived. You know.
Yeah.
What do you take from this?
No. Yeah, I agree with that. It's the nice thing about it is uh, it's hard to go through what we're experiencing right now because it's in real time and we're all getting hurt, either ourselves or loved ones, and so
Both.
and both in everyone's case, I guess, yeah. And so, but that's that we have to look at it as that's the birth pangs because what's our other option? To not go through this and keep living this lie and eat the fake steak like in the Matrix Cypher did? No, you can't. You can't. And God's not going to allow it. And so this is going to happen whether
You
you
wouldn't want us
believe.
to do that, anyways.
What's that?
You wouldn't want us to, you know.
No, he wouldn't want us to. But I'm saying that it's easier for people to have comfort than to seek change.
Yeah.
And so you've got a lot of people that are going to cling to the old world, and the only way to shake them off is going to have to be birth pangs like this. God's got to shake them off, or they're going to end up going down with a ship, and he doesn't want that. You know, that's what the whole salvation thing is. And so, you know, whether I'm reaching people that necessarily don't believe in the Bible or Jesus, you know, that's why we're here, is to, like, at least you're here and listening, and I appreciate that. But that's your choice you have to make. But just on the, hedge your bet, as would always say, just in case, say Steve and I and some other people are right, what do we have to lose? You know, what's your alternative? Because I don't think crypto's going to save us all, you know?
Not exactly, you know, not
Yeah.
exactly.
So, all right, I'm off my soapbox. Let me get, where are we at? Hopefully I got it in the right place. Let's see.
In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Are we close?
And it shall be as the chaste roe,
I have
and as
no
a sheep
idea.
I think we're gone back somewhere.
their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to
There we
cease,
go. We're close.
and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
All right. That sounds terrible. All of this.
I was gonna say, do you want to take it from there? It just seems like there's more no buenos on the way.
That's exactly. I was going to sum it up.
Yeah.
I was just going to say your tagline. Yes.
Yeah.
No.
You're on the other side of the fence. Doesn't seem like it's a good day for you, but
no. Again, what are your options? We're saying
the
look into
heavens
the
are going to
stuff,
shake.
right?
You know.
We're saying look into the stuff we're talking about. If we're wrong, big deal. You went down another rabbit hole, didn't bother your life much. Maybe you got to be a better person. But if we're right, I don't want to be on this side of the fence, like Steve says, no bueno. You know, that's it.
Fence is going down, man.
Yeah, he says there's a time he can sit on the fence. Well, we've been at it. We've been at it for a few years now, and it's going away fast. We see it happening, you know.
It's incredible. And look at this. It even says, "And the earth shall remove out of her place." So the 4 pillars the earth is immovable upon during this great day, possibly Revelation 6, maybe shortly after, it's going to get rough, you know?
And
A whole pillar could give out in that essence.
right. And the Mandela effect, I think, kind of points to it, because we used to live on the, let's see, what, Sagittarius. And now we're on Orion, or I have it backwards. I get them mixed up. But that could be a point, because we know that's all, made up, but maybe that's a reference to let us know, I don't know.
No, I like that. I see what you're saying there.
But yeah, and all those pictures that we have of the 6th seal opening are interesting to bring.
Incredible, right?
Yeah. Okay, so here I think I've got it right where we stopped. So here we go.
Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Wow.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Okay.
Pause that up. Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Where do we start here? I think at 18, right?
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff there. So just seems as if whoever's coming down seems like the angels perhaps, or maybe just an angel of death, maybe something similar to what happened in Egypt with the whole Moses scenario. It's gonna possibly come down, and if you're marked to the beast up, you're gonna get ravished, as it said in the couple scriptures ago. Very interesting. It's gonna be worse or as equal as to Sodom and Gomorrah. It's gonna be raining down sulfur. It's gonna be raining fire. Red lightning. Imagine that. What do you got?
Well, and the thing that it's a thing that I've struggled with a lot, but to me, it seems like it's clearing in my eyes anyways. By the way, people, if you're just tuning in, this is my thoughts and Stephen's thoughts, and it could be completely wrong. This entire show could be nonsense, and you might be better off watching. I don't know what's on anymore. Fraggle Rock. How about that? That's who even knows what that is.
3.5.
3.5 people. Who's a half person? Which half is it? The top half or the bottom half?
That's all right.
Okay, back to where we were. So my thoughts on this is he talks a lot about the destruction of people. Like here, there was the people are going to be ravished before, and the children here, and where is it said they'll be torn to pieces, and earlier it said they'd be dashed by the sword. So he describes the bodies being destroyed, but then there's the passage that says, "Don't worry about the person that can destroy your body. Be worried about who can destroy your body and your soul." And so what I put together in my head is, because there's a part in Revelations where there's a whole bunch of people that show up in white robes, and they're from out of tribulation, and it sounds like they don't know what the heck happened, and so they all got destroyed, but somehow, either through works or through words or both, I think it's a combination of both, they found salvation, maybe right at the very end. And so they got saved. Didn't mean they didn't die. Didn't mean they didn't die a horrific death, possibly. That's allowed. Again, read the book of Job. But at the end, it was God had. What's that?
So read the book of Adam and Eve. Not quite a biblical text, but extra biblical. And I mean, Adam gets brutalized by Satan and his minions day in and day out for a very long time. It's all allowed, but like you said, you got to be more worried about the person that's going to be judging your soul rather than the person that's going to be smiting you in the moment, on
Right,
earth.
right. And that's again one of the teachings. So many things Jesus did up on that cross. And one
Yep.
of them was he didn't sit up there going, "Hey, Judas, I'm coming for you, man," or "Hey, you, that guy that stabbed me, I know where you live and your family." He didn't say any of that. He was doing it for a different reason. Excuse me.
He
He was doing
was.
it for other reasons. And that's why God always says vengeance is mine. Isn't that in the Bible? I don't know. Maybe it isn't anymore. But we're not supposed to we're supposed to love thy neighbor as thyself. We don't like evil deeds, but we can't hate the person. Maybe they're possessed by who knows what kind of demonic things or drugs or who knows why. But we can break away from them and hopefully they find salvation. And that's what I see here in these passages. Talks about how the people are going to be destroyed, but he doesn't say they're all losing their souls. So you can still pray for them. But if it's maybe Hillary, you don't feel like praying so hard for her. How about that?
Understandable there.
Wow, that was a lot. Are we still here?
I'm here, baby. I'm here. We got
Okay.
one more little verse to hit here, and then we'll make our way to.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize I would have let it just play out. So
I didn't
we'll just-
realize it either. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. And then, well, I had a question for her. Let's play it, and then I got one more statement here. Let's see.
Do it.
And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Wow. Let me comment two things before you make your question there. So, her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. As something I can relate to right now, days last year or two just been flying by. Months, weeks have been snapping by, blink of an eye. A lot of people have been saying that too. And this is very interesting here. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. Interesting. What's this old world architecture all along the world? They're basically giant palaces, And who's in there? The dragons. What are the dragons? The seraphim that fell, Hasatan himself, possibly. Incredible. But
because again, they always try to make us picture something Hollywood-esque. Okay, what's a dragon? Here's what it looks like. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's a description someone was describing a fallen angel or whatever they looked like, and they just named it that. It's hard to tell on all the different translations. But it definitely was something that did not look bueno, as you say, no bueno. And for those of us that so right now, just if you're believe the Bible is a certain place, hold on to that thought. Here's for the alternate universe people that think there's a chance instead of we're at Revelations or tribulation, we've gone through that and the 1,000-year reign of Christ, because there's a lot of coins that have an extra eye instead of a one. We can go over that in another show. But if that's the case, then what happens then? Jesus and the saints leave, and Satan is released, what I used to call the short season, but now it's called the little season, pizza of Satan. And so there's a chance that we could be living at the very end of the book. And I mean, this does look like a great deception, and it does look like the world is run by sadistic, evil, satanic worshipers. I know they're listening. Shout out to all you assholes. And so that's our options. But either way, we're still looking for the same scenario, that God's going to come back and clean up house. And so Steve and I believe that we might have been part of the people that weren't ready the first time, and he showed up and we were hanging out in the back room, probably with my wife and Melanie and a few other of you regulars that I see in here. You know who you are. And we missed him, right? And so we don't want to miss him this time. And that's where we're at. What do you think? We put it together pretty well?
No, I think you're right on the money there. Hit the nail right on the head.
So let's say they melted wherever Babylon used to be. It says that beasts will walk in and people don't live there. Well, we've done many shows, and you can find them on, I think, both our channels, and some with Dave Trinity 4 about Africa, and how there's a chance that could have been where we were cast out of Africa. And there's an area that's very desolate, a lot of animals. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can just kind of put together in coincidences. But
Some very interesting stuff there. The Eye of the Sahara,
right, Mount
Yep.
Kilimanjaro, tallest
Mhm.
volcano. Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
weirdness.
Yeah.
Most of the animal creatures are there. Most of the plant life is there. A lot of interesting thing out of Africa, including that movie. All right. So shall we? Oh, you brought it up here. Okay. For those of you reading along that are still here, 73 beautiful people. Thank you very much. We love you all. And over on Rockfin, we have 5 wonderful people. So, okay. And yeah, someone mentioned, dude, Jared says, dude, I've never in my 40 years had time go by so fast. And it just seems that way to me too.
Imagine that. Right?
Right? Almost like it was written scripturally. So let's see. Here we are. So put that there. Does this view look better? No, that covers the words. That's better.
You're okay.
Okay. So let's see. We'll go over here. And here we go. Oh, here, we'll just give him one of these.
We're on a mission from God.
Hey.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this going. So now we're on, for those of you who are playing, playing along at home, Isaiah 14.
Isaiah 14.
That's what I said.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve.
You want to pause that?
Like
So
you say,
I have questions more than speculation, but so basically, is he trying to like maybe like wink at the 1,000-year reign here, possibly?
See,
no?
yeah, that's what I was seeing in it too.
They
And in
shall
fact,
rule over their oppressors. Who would the oppressors be? Probably the same people oppressing right now. Like does the switch get the flip the switch on us? Who knows? But it's just very interesting.
No, I mean, it just depends. See, now that's the other thing that's so difficult, because God and the Bible, they don't talk in a linear fashion. Sometimes he's talking about a present event, sometimes a past, sometimes a future, and sometimes all 3 at once.
Yeah. Picture. Yeah, could be 2
so
out of 3.
This could also line up for where we're finding ourselves now. Is that he's letting us, because this is where it gives me pleasure, at least listening to it this way, is he's saying is like, I know you're going to go through some rough times, but I'm going to have mercy on Jacob, which, that's the lineage, I guess, we're supposed to connect to, something like that. But don't get caught up in the names and all that. But he's going to find mercy on those who, and it says choose Israel. But again, Israel isn't necessarily a country. It's a people that believe in God, is the way I see it, because that all gets changed around in the Old Testament versus the New Testament, who the special people are. Jesus shows up and says, hey, anybody that knows who God is, that's who we're talking about. Don't worry about the names. Religions have muffed this all up to the point where nobody understands it. And so he says, God's going to have mercy in those times. And in fact, because he's showing you mercy and you're going to make it through those judgment days somehow, people are going to come to you that need help. Strangers will be showing their cleaving to your house. Doesn't even say they're part of Jacob's house. There's strangers that are figuring it out, and we're there to help them.
And then I've seen examples of this already happening,
Right. And people taking them in, just like Brian and all the people that we talk to online, and they'll take them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land, and the Lord of service. Okay. And then it says, then I'm thinking this is a coming update. Then eventually what they say, the meek inherit the earth, will be able to take over and get rid of the oppressors, and they're going to be held captive and taken away. And that's, I think, the judgment coming and all that. And then
preparation of that, yeah, they'll get a taste of their own medicine while they're waiting.
Right. So,
great stuff there.
yeah. So okay. So I forget where we at here.
We're at 4. So either hit play or just back it up a second.
Okay, we're at 4. Okay.
Sounds like you're loading a gun over there. What's going on?
Okay, here we go.
Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing.
Did you want to say something?
No, I just thought that was interesting. You could finish up this quick.
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, actually, well, I mean, you stopped there at singing, right? So yeah,
I stopped at singing.
At the end of a verse. Just more interesting than anything. The people who've been oppressing us, smiting us, ruling in vain. They're gonna get persecuted. And the very funny thing is I can't remember if it's but there's 7 trumpets and 7 seals, or is there a different amount of trumpets? I can never remember all these numbers. I think it's 7.
A lot of numbers. Yeah, I think it's 7. That's one of their favorite.
It's 7 and 7, and I can't remember if it's the final seal, if it's the final trumpet. But I think it's the final seal. I think the final seal gets open, and just like I said, everything is quiet. There was silence in heaven for 30 minutes. Now I can't remember if that's the final seal or the final trumpet. But regardless, just very interesting how it's going to get switched over that quick. It also talks about, not in Revelation in the part where Apocalypse seals and whatnot, but afterwards, talking about the second resurrection after the 1,000-year reign, after the short season, the part that we may be in right now, talks about how there'll be an escalation of war, but it'll get to the boiling point, and then God will intervene. But it seems as if there'll just be wars and more rumors of wars than actual wars, because the only actual war they're preparing for is war against the Creator and the angels above. But before that will even escalate and take off, I think he's going to come back like a thief in the night and take them all off guard and sayonara, because I'm God and I make the rules, and I am the rule,
That's very true.
There we go.
I had nothing to add to that. That's what that guy's for.
We'll take him for what he's worth.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's probably the only good thing he did. Okay. He was one of my favorite handlers, I'll tell you that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay.
Well, all right. I think we're at 8. So if you want to continue, unless you got something else to add, that's on you.
No, I think I'm good on this. Let's see. We're on yeah. Let's just go with this so far. I think everyone's still having a good time. So here we go. Clickety click. It's this one. Here it is.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
We'll just pause there real
All they
quick.
shall speak and say unto thee,
That's okay. I just real quick, just hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. Does that mean that what me and Jen were maybe theorizing, that maybe downstairs is moving up, and maybe that upstairs is coming down, and we're somewhere in the middle at the breaking point, at the meeting point, when you do those graphs where you have the the two circle graphs, and you have that point in the middle. Maybe that's where we are right now. It's starting to all come into one spectrum, one big giant torus field, perhaps, rather than the three separate realms. What do you think there? I think it's maybe a wink at that, you know?
Everything I was about to say, you just mentioned. So no, yeah,
All
that would
right.
totally make sense if we're, because time speeding up and everything coming crushing down on us. So, and the stars, when you're looking outside, it used to be I needed a telescope to see them. Now you can see some with your naked eye flashing blue. I think Sirius sometimes you can see with your naked eye. I showed it to my mother. But with just a cheap pair of telescopes or even an iPhone, you can photograph them now. That was never possible. The moon looks like I could hit it now with the rock, or at least my wife, she's a much better thrower. But you know what I'm saying? Like everything seems way closer. So if the top's coming in, obviously the bottom's coming in, and that would go along with the toroidal field discussion and how the energy is compressing right before the, say, Big Bang explosion, and we have a new child and we live in a new earth and the bad people are gone. Whoa, that was pretty trippy. What do you think about all that?
I like it, man. I like the trip.
Bingo! Yahtzee! Is that your final answer?
There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go back into the word instead of our nudge. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can do this. It might back up just a little too far, but
Oh, wow. I
Well,
forgot.
Kings of the nation.
what's that?
Nothing. I just forgot that this was in this verse or in this chapter.
Oh,
You're good.
yeah. Okay.
I'm just pre-reading over here. I'm getting ahead.
Oh, all right. No
Spoiler.
spoilers. We don't want to ruin it for anyone. Okay, here we go.
Or they shall speak and say unto thee,
That's 10. Don't
Art
worry.
thou
Okay.
also become
You are
weak
there.
as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread unto thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Okay, this part here, I really like. Go back up a bit. See, this is a cool thing. This is another thing this passage does for me, is when I think it in terms of describing what's coming, the Lord's wrath is coming and everything's going to get shaken out. And Satan knows he's defeated, but we live in his world. He's allowed to mess with us. So we give him great power. And if like, I don't know, pick your favorite, at least in the day when you believed in him. Pick your favorite celebrity or president or whoever I don't know, insert whoever you want right now in this mind
Public figure.
thing I'm doing. Okay. Pick your favorite public figure that you would have always liked to meet. Okay. So now, if that person showed up when you still believed in them to your house and said, "Hey, my car broke down. Can you have me for dinner?" You would probably bend over backwards and just fall all over yourself taking care of that person. But then if you found out when they walked up to your house and you've been in love with their character you'd seen on the movies, that they had like run over your neighbor's child and was at your house trying to hide out. You know what I mean? It's a totally different view. And so that's a terrible analogy. Don't worry about it. So I'm bringing it home here, is that if the devil, we give him so much power, we think he's exalted, like our favorite famous person that we idolize, like God says not to do. And yet when he finally gets brought down to his knees, as he should, and he walks by us, you look at him and you go, first, he says, art thou also become weak as we? And you become like us. So you get to say, like, dude, you're like worse than us. You're beneath, you're weaker than us. And I was worried about you.
How art thou cut down to the ground? Because you're supposed to be on the pedestal of the world, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And once they see this act, once again, this is why, in my opinion, I think Lucifer and Satan are two different people. But that's besides the point here. You'll see Lucifer get caught down, but it will weaken the whole nations. And that's when, I think that's right when, at least people who had a sniff of an idea what's going on, but still got into the mark of the beast system, I think right then and there, they're gonna have some utter regrets, fella. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, and real quick, just why do I think that Lucifer and Satan are two different people? Oh,
Mhm.
Lucifer, son of the morning. Doesn't say S-U-N, son, you know, like like being the child of the morning. And if you look up morning in Hebrew, one of the translations is Hasatan, you know. Oh, Lucifer, son of the devil, essentially, the dragon, the serpent, you know, two different deities. But that's besides the point. That's something that's going to be beyond my pay grade and all of our pay grades. Simply speculation, but just
Yeah.
throwing it out there for
Again,
you
this
know,
is a show that I'm all about that. If you want to present an alternate view, I'll listen to it for sure. I'm not sure if I'm completely on board with that one, but I can't dispute it one way or the other. I'll sound like the people at Job again. 'Cause
yeah,
next thing you know, God's booming voice will show up saying, "You guys don't know shit."
right. You're not lying there.
Yeah,
But
he
at
probably
least
doesn't even. He probably is upset at this.
We're on a mission from God.
No, we'll see. It will probably show up at the gates. You know, Stephen, Rich, I'd like to talk to you together. What the hell was that show? You know, who knows?
oh dear.
Okay, let's see. I think I can do this. We'll see where we're at. I think
Yeah,
it stopped right where we were.
you did. You stopped well, and these next
Okay.
couple verses are key.
Okay. Well, I could back it up a second just so we don't miss anything. Let's see. It says 2.
Weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Now, see, if you connect those to me, this sounds like he's talking about Satan. I know there's a different name in here, but the book gets messed up too. But right here, he's definitely, to me, in my mind, talking about Satan. Because Satan's the one that sat next to God and had the arrogancy to say, I could do this. I could probably do it better. And then fell down. And he said, I'm going to ascend and be higher than God and take this place over. And that's where he's referencing here. And it's kind of like, I mean, not God is, but this passage allows us to just kind of like, for finally, like we're not allowed to feel bad, not that you want to, but feel bad about one of these evil people, you know, getting comeuppance. You're supposed to just pray for them and keep
still beings, right?
Keep turning your cheek and let God sort it out at the end. And then he says, now you can look at him and say, wow, you're such a weakling. And you said you were going to sit up there and take over. And now look at you. You're a mess. You're covered in filth and you're heading to a really, really poor place. And you're a joke. You're a joke. And that's what you're allowed to do then. And you're allowed to do it now. It's just, you know, we live in his world. So sometimes it feels good to kick the cage, though. I'm telling you. What do you got, Stephen?
No, I fully agree with you there. Very interesting stuff here. You know, like he said he's gonna sit upon the mount of the congregation. You know, in the sides of the north. You know, that's just very telling for us. You know, so he's gonna ascend to the heights of the heights, but yet brought down to hell, brought down to the pit. You know, just very cool, you know.
Right.
Very cool stuff, you know. You gotta love the Bible, but yeah, it's just incredible, you know.
All right, here we go.
Where are we at? 16? Yeah.
Yeah, right after Pitt.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit.
He even talks about there that even the kings of the nation and their glory, they lie in glory, and they're in their own house, but they're watching this happen. At least that's what I picked out of that. What do you get there?
I could see, yeah, I see that all day, you know, and they're looking down like wow, you know, just in awe, you know, and awe and wonder in both ways, you know, because that just a few hours prior, it seems in the Bible, they're in awe and wonder on the power and the raw force of the beast, and now it's like, wow, you know, you're really not nothing, you know, ain't nothing. And something else I wanted to add to that last segment that I kind of forgot about, but just remembered, you know, Satan, you know, he was top notch, you know, upstairs, you know, he was in the throne. He was the guardians, the one of the guardian cherubim of the throne room, you know, and it's just very interesting. People have this misconception, you know, because they're human. You know, I won't be deceived. You know, you can't pull a fast one on me, you know, but you got to think about it. Satan actually brought up a plan, whether it was, you know, lies or if it was a truthful, hard-held, thought-out plan. You know, he made it seem that they could win. You know,
Yeah.
other angels followed him.
Right.
And
And
then,
that's the other thing, you know, again, Hollywood shows you he's a fiery thing with horns and a pitchfork. And no, it says in the Bible that he's like amazing. He's beautiful and he's obviously very talented at deceiving people, because if you're up there and you're in the presence of God and you're an angel and you pretty much are way more powerful than the humans on earth, and he convinces you that he can make it better for you, that's somebody that's not a scary monster. That's somebody you got to watch out, because they're very suave and good at what they do. Look at what's going on in this world. The most of the populace is deceived right at this very moment, and we can't even snap them out of it. In fact, they get angry at us if we dare try to break them out of their matrix tomb and tell them that steak's not real.
yeah, they it's that pride thing, you know, they got to let it go, but they are they're in this world and they are of this world, you know.
Yeah. Right. Let's keep going here. Here we go.
As a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord.
Pause that.
Boo.
So just very I mean, you know, very prophetic, very just almost hardcore, you could say, from the Lord, just cutting off, but rightly so. You know, I don't want to justify the other side by any means, but it seems if that after this little season, after it's all done, after everything's all done, there will be no more of the like perhaps the Rothschild seed out in the land. You know, there's going to be just utter peace and the seed of Jesus. You know, the Spirit will be filling everyone. None of this Babylon stuff that goes back to the days before the flood. You know, none of that crazy stuff. And you know, it just gives us hope. You know, and I like that. What do you got? What are you saying?
No, totally. It's that's why I do really like this passage, is it describes uh, both sides. Bad things are going to happen, but there's a way out, and the way out is
Don't be
to
bad.
do all these things. And, what's that?
If you don't want the bad things to happen, just don't be on the bad side, you know?
Right? Yeah, yeah. When the fence falls down, make sure you've gotten off on the correct side, or you might not have a choice, and then you got some trouble coming.
You're gonna get pancakes.
Yeah, and God says, you know, we're all due correction. So I'm just doing my best, at least in the
Even Jesus said, "There's not one good man here on earth, not even me." You know,
yeah.
that blew me away. That may be in Luke, perhaps. But yeah, just incredible stuff.
Well, I always say, he was the only perfect person, and look what they did to him. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
And
know,
even he thought he wasn't perfect. He said, "There's no good man here on earth except my Father in heaven."
right?
And dude, he said that too. So from what I read in the passage, sounds like his jaw hit the floor.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like, "Oh,
basically,
what the hell am I gonna do then?"
basically, what it is like, because some people get upset on this one, and again, these are my thoughts. So you say, well, a baby, that's an innocent, and I agree. When we're born into this world, we are innocent, but we're born into world Satan's world, and we're tempted every second of our life, constantly, and the choices that we make eventually get us to a death sentence because everyone sins eventually. No exceptions is what it says, and he says that what is it that you're born of your I don't, again, the words have all been changed, but the passage is something like you're born of your father, who's always had, evil thoughts or something. Once we learned the knowledge of good and evil, because God had to have both in him. And he's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you guys just concentrate on the good? I'll just take care of the evil. You won't have to deal with it. We're like, no, that snake said it'd be cool. Can we just find out what's on the other
Right.
side? And he's
Showed
like,
us
no,
pretty right.
don't. Right? It's like if someone walked up to Hoover Dam and said, I hear water on the other side. And they're like, yeah, just leave it there. He's like, no, I want to see it. And he starts hacking away at it. He's like, no. Trust me, it's over there. I want to see what it looks like. And he
And
cracks it
boom.
open, and then here we are. That was a good analogy.
Look at that. What do we got here? What time is it? 59 minutes, Rich. Timestamp that.
I'll put the long one on. I'll know it, and then I'll do this.
Oh, yeah? Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, you can talk to him too. Hopefully he's here. He's shutting this down. So here, no, don't shut
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No, so
the internet just gave out,
So what were we saying? I'm lost. I lost the train of thought. It went off the
You took
tracks.
the train all the way to Buffalo, man. I don't
But
know.
I think I did. I think. Oh, okay. So going back, I'm back on track about people being good. So yeah, we had the ability, but once we decided to look on the other side, and now it's all around us, and we live here, and Jesus talks about how you wash yourself all the time because you're walking around in Babylon all the time. And so the best you can do, not like Kenny Rogers, die in your sleep, the best you can do is to cleanse yourself. And part of that is getting right with God, putting on the full armor, and getting through these times. That's kind of the way I see. That was a long way to get there. But
I like that. You're good. Good, man.
okay.
All
right. Let's see. Okay, we're back here. Here we go, people.
up.
Sorry, train's back on track. Here we go.
Choo choo.
Okay. Where did that just ruined my whole phone? Now there we go. That was funny. Okay, here we go. No, it's not working.
I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand. That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him under foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations.
You want to pause that? So yeah, just for me, it's just reiterating that, like in the
Are you there? I'm not hearing you, Steve. Am I still on the air? Okay. Can't tell if we've lost Steve or me. Let's see. Testing. Anybody hear us? Okay, I can hear me, so I'm still here. I don't hear you, Stephen. So, I guess I'll start. Do you want me to move you out and put you back in? Let's write something in the chat, private chat, whatever. Oh, one of the things I can talk about is I looked this one up. Oh yeah, he's coming back in another. Hold on a second. Kick that one and pulling this guy. Here he is, the handsome man. Okay.
What did I say was going to happen?
I
just
know it's
saying.
my fault. I said something. I apologize.
I said
gotta
my
watch
internet was going to give out.
Oh yeah, I know, but I made the comment too. So you know what? It's that words matter. We got to watch ourselves. So.
Wow, that's incredible.
Okay.
Let me bring this back up real quick, and then I was commenting, but I guess I was talking to the air.
Yeah. Well, for those of us reading along, I did something because I was curious about a word, and it talked about how he's going to make it desolate for where was it? I can't find what chapter were we on? Where were we? Are you there, Steve?
I'm there. Yes, we are. What chapter? We're on chapter
23. Verse 23. It says, "I will make a possession for the bittern." And when I looked up the bittern, it is a it's a type of heron. And so and they also sometimes they use the word owl in here. And so I don't know. I just thought I'd let people know if they wondered what that was, because that's the thing. You got to have like some kind of dictionary, encyclopedia next to you sometimes. And then if you really want to break down the words, you can watch Karen and Just Jack do a stream on, I think, Saturdays, and they go over the words and how they've changed, and they do a breakdown too. That's really good. So. Okay, so where are we? You wanted to cover? Oh, it's not on the screen. There it is. Ta-da! Sorry,
I got it ready to
you
go.
wrote for me.
You're the one behind it.
You want to do the breakdown? Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was saying. That's the funny thing now. But I'm just rereading this real quick. Yeah, so it basically is talking about how the whole world is going to get wiped away. In Revelations, towards the end there, it talks about there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. So the same fate for the Assyrian, who is Satan, is going to be the same fate for the entirety of this world. The entire physical realm that we know will cease to exist, at least the way we thought it has. It'll be in disarray. You know, it said a couple verses prior, the foundations will be moved and earth is going to start moving. You know, it hasn't moved ever. Imagine that. One day people are going to say, I felt the earth move. Imagine that. Imagine that. I'm just saying, you know. But what do you got out here? You have any gravy to put on top of this one?
No, other than you have an earworm in my head now.
What's that?
I feel the earth move under my feet. Hey, I got a question for you, though, about earthquakes and earth movements. You know, we've been doing a lot of investigation, you and Shapu and Jan and a lot of other people. And we've been discussing the earthquakes. And there's like, I know that's ice going on for me, sorry. There's earthquakes that are going on around the late 1800s, early 1900s. Pretty much, it seems like all over the world. And right? And I'm sorry, I take that back. Earthquakes and fires. Right.
Followed by fires, yes.
So an alternate history to that would be a god wrath, right? Because that would be basically cause the same damage.
I like that term.
If they wanted to cover it up and take away the 1,000-year reign, then you say a cow kicked over a lantern and burnt down San Francisco with such heat that it melted bricks, or a monkey, and you guys don't know this, where Steve lives, a monkey burnt down the whole town, right?
Yeah. The monkey hit the lamp. The lamp hit the curtain, and down went Springfield. Allegedly. Yet we have these buildings that are indistinguishable from Greece.
Yeah, same here in Seattle. In fact, the fire was so intense.
Think about Greece. Technically, Greece never existed until the late 1800s. Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And then, like here in Seattle, the fire was so intense that they looked at the city and well, that's a complete loss. Let's build everything on top of it and bury it.
Right.
Because there's a whole underground.
Don't even take it out. You know.
Yeah.
Don't even remove it.
I mean, why don't we do that today when a house burns down? Why don't we just build another one put a mound of dirt and build a house on top of it and everything? It doesn't make any sense, people. Okay, where are we? We got off
We're
of
at
that train.
27. We're about to wrap this up. I know there's
All right.
we'll just let it play out because it goes to 32, and
Sounds good.
we can put a wrench around that.
Here we go. And it just died on me. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Every time I touch it, yeah, there. Okay, let's try.
For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died, was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina art dissolved. But there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it.
All right.
It's just basically just God wrapping it up himself, you know? Like I said, just kind of reiterating how everything on this earth is going to get destroyed one way or another. Whether you're on the good side or the bad side, your body's going to go away here. But if you're in his name, you know, if you have trust in it, you should be just fine, you know? What do you say?
Yeah, and again, I decided because sometimes some of these I decide to look into. I'm a KJV guy, but I do check out some of the other ones, especially when there's passages for me that are difficult. And Revelations is one that's just so difficult. But this one right here, it says, "Rejoice not thou, who Palestina became, because the rod of him that smote thee is where is it? For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice." And the NIV says, let's see, do not rejoice, all you Philistines, that the rod that struck you is broken, and from the root of that snake will spring up a viper. So it's just the fact that it helps me because I'm not quite sure what a cockatrice is. And, but yeah, it's more just describing how in this day, he's going to wrap it all up. It's all coming to an end. It seems like to me, like however this project or whatever you call us, how we started, has been completely mutated into something that's not even resembling what God wanted for us. And since we are His children, as much as we don't like being in suffering, he suffers when he watches us in suffering, and put that on a mass scale. Every one of us is suffering. It hurts him. Of course, that's Satan's job. Is if you really want to hurt someone, you go after their children, especially. And that's kind of what he's doing. He's like, okay, I know I've lost, and I'm going to do that walk of shame, where they ring the bell and say, what is it? Shame, from Game of that. He's going to do that. And he's like, but on the way, I'm going to take as many of these suckers with me just to strike at you. And so as a serpent would, as these viper, and that's the way I see it. And so it's our job to not only resist him, but to help others figure this out and to show that he doesn't have the power over us that he wants us to believe. Because again, it's part of manifestation. The more you believe he can do these things, the more he will do these things to you. Not to say they can happen to you if you're a believer in Christ. There's many of us that believe in him, and we're still having things happen to us. That's just, I don't know how that works. But I do know, though, don't give him the power that he wants you to think he has. Because at the end of the day, we know he lost. He knows he's lost. And Jesus is coming back to take care of things. And that's the way I see it. What do you got, Stephen?
No, I think you just you hit it right in the fairway there. That's good stuff. It's don't give him the power. Know where the true God is, and know that he's in us and with us at all times. The only way he's going to go away is if you make him go away and accept this this deviant mark and thoughts and mindsets, you know, the things that are in this world, you know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, I didn't believe in any of these things I'm talking about just several years ago. I mean, again, I've talked about it. I'm born and raised Jewish. So I didn't, the fact that I'm reading the Bible now and telling people I think Jesus, you know, is a real thing and did some real stuff for us. I think that's just part of the fascinating thing, how God uses the oddest people, myself.
I'm not too far from that tree. I'll tell you that.
That's very true.
I had to give you that one. Okay.
I know where you live.
Shoot. All right. So, what else you got? Is that good? I think that was.
Yeah, we could end it up there. I was wondering if you want to just go over that picture real quick.
Oh, sure. You want to bring that up? Absolutely.
Yes. I'm gonna bring 2 or 3 things up real quick.
Okay. Sure. 81 people here. Thank you very much for still hanging out here. We're trying to
Monday night.
Right? We're trying to do some education, hopefully, and some entertainment, and some gathering of some lovely people, wonderful souls. Because the way I remember it is 2 or more are gathered, and we definitely count. So thank you for being here. Oh, he's got it ready. Okay. Here we go.
Look at you, Mr. Behind. But yes, so I think there's a lot of correlations in Isaiah 13 there, and 12 and 13 that we just, or was it 13 and 14? I think it was 13, 14. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And 13, 14.
Were you watching the show? 13, 14.
I was producing half the show, yes.
I hear you.
It's okay. Continue. But regardless, so I think there's a lot of correlations with those passages and the latter half here of Revelation 6, talking about the 6th seal. And I beheld the 6th seal open, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black, as we just heard about in Isaiah. Along with the earthquake, the moon is all blood, the stars are falling from heaven. The heavens depart as a scroll. That's very interesting. Every mountain and island will be moved out of their places. All these people are going to be fleeing and running into the mountains, into caverns, and they'll be literally.
Uh-oh. Rot-row, Shaggy. Man, every time he's got like one of these really great moments, and he's like, all right, I'm going to knock this out of the park. He is one of the smartest, if not the smartest man on the internet. And I'm just trying to fill time because I would assume, coming back on another link. I'll have to do. Okay, there he goes. All right, we're still seeing his screen though. Everybody still having fun? Don't go anywhere. We're still going to do stuff and more stuff and other stuff. Let's see. I could do a few shout outs, I guess. Come on. Oh, he's back. Whew. Man, I'm having trouble filling time. You got to stop dropping out. Nothing. Silent Steve, we should call him. There he goes. Silent Steve is gone. It's like Silent Bob, right? And Jay. What does that make me? I guess I'm Jay, right? And then he's Silent Bob. Here's Silent Bob, and back Silent Bob.
What is going on with this, dude? All right, so you're talking about Shaggy's the smartest guy on the internet? Is that what you're talking about?
Shaggy, we're talking about you.
I know.
No, I was calling you Silent Bob because you were talking and nothing was coming out. Look, you try to do this after all this talking and come up with something. Oh, and yes, my dog thinks I'm cool. So there.
Like your dog thinks I should get the screen real quick too.
Oh, I was waiting for. There it is. Okay.
That's okay. But so yeah, we wrapped up in a nutshell with what's going on here in Revelation, how it relates to what we were just saying. Let me get the photo here. Am I still there? We here?
Yeah.
Okay. So let
me make that full screen. Let's see if I can do this.
So we got the opening of the 6th seal. This is a photo that you've sent me that's in your Bible, perhaps.
Yeah.
And what do we have?
1800s.
looks like the Tower of Babel, is getting devastated, and you have the stars are falling. You got lightning coming out of everywhere, causing fires, causing incredible stuff. People they can't even stand the sight of this. None of them.
It's blinding. Yeah.
It's incredible stuff. Just very incredible. And I just thought it was something interesting there. And bring it back over here real quick. Let me see which photo it is, because there was a photo here that I thought correlated with that. This one's not bad either, but yeah, one of these ones here, because you got
actually, I have a black and white of that one.
Yes,
did I send you that one?
And it's hitting the Tower Babel.
Yeah.
You did. I have that one over here as well.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Keep going. I apologize.
No, you're good, man. You're good. But oh yes,
because it says what it is if you go down to the bottom.
Well, very interesting here how this is it's depicted as like a regular lake, and yes, this is Babylon taken over by Cyrus. But it's depicted as water. But the thing is, over here, I don't know if it's just detail into it, but
yeah,
look at that, And people want to. We talk about mud floods and melted buildings, and this guy could have been having this guy here, the artist. His name is John Martin, and these are his visions of the apocalypse. And it's just very strange how in his vision of the apocalypse, in the opening of the sixth seal, Babylon, the tower is still up.
Mm-hmm.
Babylon Tower is not up, and people still think that we are coming, into the seals. Maybe the seals have already been opened. Maybe they get opened over and over again. Maybe it's a little cyclical thing. I'm not too sure. But you got this snake not looking so happy right now,
Same one that you see in that iPet goat and also in the black and white etching.
Yes. But what I was focusing on here is how this is just like a molten lava flow rather than a water flow. And if you look at the buildings here on the bottom, what's going on to them? They're melting. They're melting away.
Which would explain why everything the bottom level is gone now and it's covered in mud, right?
Exactly, because after it cools, what's going to be there? Layers and layers of dirt and mud and whatnot, And you have cities just being poured upon. Just incredible scenes here. There's actually one more. Yes, this one here I thought was interesting because you look on the right side of here, these look like buildings that are being just mushed into a wave of land, turning them into mountains essentially after the cool down. Mm-hmm. Just more stuff. But
like Mary said, lake of fire, as is described,
Yes.
That because there was a flood. And I believe the evidence of that is all the water that's still here. And then there's a chance, again, alternate universe people, that happened. And lakes of fire, earthquakes, molten. It would explain a lot of what we see. And like Stephen says, we don't see the Tower of Babel, even broken. It's not there. And it seems like in all these descriptions of Revelation, it's there. They keep trying to build new ones. Like they got a new one they want to build in Tel Aviv. And they got a new thing, I think, in building in Scotland. And they keep doing it. But the actual one that we see referenced, we don't see. And maybe, could it just be, like Jen says, if it's a volcano, maybe it's hidden in plain sight, but it's been melted down. And now to us, it looks like a volcano. I don't know how any of this works.
No, I agree with that 100%, man. 100%. But yeah, that's about it I got on my end. You have anything else you want to throw on top of this?
Not that I can think of. But I do think definitely keep an eye out. We're going to be, I'm sure, talking about these ideas that we've come up with, because that's what Steve and I and others do. We just start like, well, what do you think about this? And then, yeah. And I see Shapu is in here. He's probably going to look into all kinds of things too next thing is. So I just want to thank you again, not just you for doing this with me, Steve. I just love doing it. And we try to do it every Sunday, but just keep an eye out. We'll do it when we can. And I have a music video I made that I'll put up, and I'll let you guys know how to find that. And then I have my Friday show. Other than that, do you have other things you want to promote, or I'll just lead us out with a prayer?
That's it for me, man. Yeah, that's it for me. This was been awesome. Everyone in the chat, thank you guys for coming. It's been a great show, and thanks for having me, man. This has been good.
Yeah, I really do enjoy these conversations, and I go back over the chat, and I've missed anything, I apologize. I'll look it over, and if you have questions for us or passages you want us to read, we'll look into it and go from there. So everyone, thank you again for being here. May the Father in heaven, or the good Lord, however you see His name, may He watch over you and your family. Help us, Lord. Give us guidance. Give us wisdom. Give us comfort to get through these times. You told us the saints will be worn out, and technically anyone that's speaking out in your name or speaking out against this nonsense and protecting the children of the future generations, that's who you're talking about. Please help us, Lord. We need you now more than ever to comfort us, guide us, and protect us through these times, and give us the wisdom that we need to help bring home as many children as we can. Thank you, Father, in the name of Jesus. Hallelujah. What do you think of that?
Wonderful.
Okay, that's all I got. I'm on fumes, and thanks again. It's been beautiful and wonderful, and we'll see you soon on the playground.